You said it. You could have 6 kids and live at home and stitch together. You didn't say this, but I'm thinking stitch together clothing for the kids.
Hang on. What actually happened there was a sequence of internal critiques. I had her position. She gave an internal critique to her position. And then I gave an internal critique based on that, based on her grounding foundational position, that it largely requires 2 incomes. Meaning that if that's the case, then women who are working, this is not due to a feminist ideal. This is due to forced labor.
So should we,
from your view? From your view. So if that's the case, then we can take off the table that women working right now has anything at all to do with them being feminists.
Wait. Yeah,
that's being feminist.
That's where we can get. Oh, with them being feminist, sure, whatever. In some instances, I guess.
Not in some instances. You can't say that they're feminist because they're working. That would be a contradiction to your view that it's necessary that they're working. So the thing is like, again, that whole worldview, I think, is built on sand, but it is your view that almost all women under your communist, and you're using a Marxist lens for analysis, I'm guessing, right?
Sure.
Okay, so under your Marxist lens, right now what's going on is that the proletariat is being exploited by the evil bourgeoisie and forcing these poor women who would rather stay at home with their little kids suckling at the teat into the workforce, where they must slave away in order to, help their capitalist overlords so they can bring the paycheck home when they'd much rather be at home?
No. I'm not saying that absent any economic coercion that you wouldn't see women opting to not have kids or still participate and do labor, et cetera, throughout their day. It would just depend on that individual person at that point.
You think?
Well, they're doing labor regardless.
I think you would be able to see people being able to actually live true to their values absent this massive economic coercive factor.
So we can't say it's defensible that because a woman's working, it's contrary to her values of being an anti-feminist. That just doesn't make any sense under that analysis.
But as I said, I think that there is a tension there that exists when you're going so far as to maximize your professional outcomes as opposed to doing the minimum that is necessary to be able to provide for yourself.
That doesn't make any sense under that analysis either. Why would you not try to maximize your earning outcomes if it's required that you earn money in order to give your kids a better life in this particular environment?
Because
of course you're going to maximize
there's more to
those.
life than money. Just because I think it's rational for people, women included, to try to maximize their professional achievements. If you really truly believe that a big part of your life ought to be centered around domesticity, then I think that there would come a point where you would deprioritize taking every single professional step, promotion, et cetera, to maximize those earnings and say, if the entire point of working and the entire point of earning money is to be able to enable, a domestic life that makes my family happy,
I don't need
to go so far as to become the press secretary for the United States.